after it developed mechanical failure, causing it to veer off the road and into the river. Rescue teams arrived at the scene early Sunday morning to retrieve the bodies of the 6 victims from the submerged vehicle. 6 other passengers survived the accident and are currently receiving treatment at Macharia Level 5 Hospital and Kirwara Level 4 Hospital.
Tukawa tukiwa nusu, hapo ndio tulikuta, ndio gari ilipotea, nikaenda kushika ikakataa. Nikaomba Mungu, kaambia Mungu usikubali. Sasa kusema namna hiyo wakaanza kupiga duru. Wote wakapiga duru. Tukifika huko nilisikia pa. Nikajisikia mimi nikiwa chini, nikiwa majini. Kichwa ya gari kaingia kwa maji.
6 kati ya waliokuwa wameaga dunia, ikiwemo babangu mzazi, na kuna wengine wamepata majeraha.
Ipata sisi kwa hiyo hospitali ni wagonjwa 6. Tukawahudumia vizuri, walipigwa picha, wakafanywa investigations zenye zilikuwa zinahitajika, wakahudumiwa vizuri na wako sawa. Mmoja tu ndiye anaonekana kuna injuries serious na atalazwa hospitali.
Tunatoka Kiambu na tulikuwa tumekaribia kufika nyumbani. Dereva akasema gari imekosa brake na yeye akakosa kudhibiti ile gari. Ilikuwa masaa ya usiku, ile gari ikatutumbukiza kwa mto.
Imetuagusha sisi wote kwa mto. Familia mzima ya watu 13 walikuwa kwa hiyo gari. Watu wa serikali watuangalilie hiyo barabara, hiyo daraja ni mbaya. Juu haina mabati ya kando na kando, kwa hivyo inaweza kosa ajali mingi sana.
All right, quite unfortunate story right there, and we hope that the victims receive quick recovery. Moving on, Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba has issued a stern warning to individuals planning to engage in examination malpractice as the 2025 national exams approach. Speaking in Kitutu Church in North Kisii County during a funds drive at Nyagesenda SDA Church, Ogamba said the government has put in place strict measures to ensure the integrity of the examinations, which will see a total of 3.4 million candidates sit for their papers this year. Now, the CS assured the public that preparations across all schools have been finalized to facilitate a smooth and credible examination process. He further urged parents to avoid exerting unnecessary pressure on learners, emphasizing that students should be allowed to achieve grades that reflect their true academic abilities.
Watoto wetu wameanza kufanya mtihani wa 2025. Watoto wote wale wanafanya mtihani Kenya hii, kutoka primary, kutoka junior school, kuingia form 4, wote ni 3.4. There are 3.4 million children doing exams in Kenya this year. Nataka kuomba watu wote wakiwa ndani yao, watoto, walimu, wazazi na watu wote ambao wanahusika katika ile maneno ya exams, tafadhali msikubali kufanya maneno ya malpractice kwa exam hii ya 2025. Msikubali kufanya maneno ya illegality yoyote ama irregularity yoyote katika kufanya exams ya mwaka huu. Ningependa na naomba muache watoto wafanye exams kwa sababu they have been properly prepared, na ile grade mtoto atapata ndio yake.
All right, now a special Sunday service was held at the home of the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga in Bondo to honor his memory. The service, led by Anglican Bishop of the Bondo Diocese, Right Reverend David Cordia, was attended by family members, neighbors, church congregants, and friends of the Odinga family. Now, in his sermon, Bishop Cordia emphasized the importance of unity and love within the community, urging Kenyans to uphold peace and togetherness in memory of the late statesman. After the service, local supporters of the English Premier League club, that is Arsenal, of which Raila Odinga was a devoted fan and long-time member, visited the Odinga family to offer their condolences. Led by Silas Odhiambo, the fans donned Arsenal jerseys as they gathered at Odinga's gravesite, where they held prayers before meeting Mama Ida Odinga and Raila Jr. As a gesture of respect and remembrance, they presented the family with an Arsenal jersey bearing the number 80, symbolizing the age Raila Odinga had attained before his passing. All right, another story is still matters honoring the late statesman. Residents of Njiru in Nairobi County have paid tribute to the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga by naming a local road in his honor. Speaking to the media, the residents described Raila as a national hero who dedicated his life to the fight for democracy, justice, and equality in Kenya. They said the decision to name the road after him was a symbol of appreciation for his immense contribution to the country's political and social transformation. The residents further noted that Raila's legacy will continue to inspire generations, urging leaders and citizens alike to emulate his courage, resilience, and patriotism.
Sisi siku ya leo pamoja na wakaaji na ofisi wa Njiru tumesema tukumbuke baba, ama tumesema tuweke jina ya jina ya Raila Odinga Road hapa Kamatuto tukimkumbuka, na mahali popote ambao huku Kenya ama huku nchini habari hii Wakenya wakiangalia na wakiona. Ninataka kufikishia hii habari gavana wetu Sakaja na pamoja na rais wetu His Excellency William Ruto waweze kuona ya kwamba kuna jina ambaye imewekwa hapa Njiru ambaye inajiita Raila Amolo Odinga Road, na wakaaji kwa sababu ya heshima ya huyo kiongozi bila ubaguzi na vile alikuwa anashikilia wananchi, hawa wananchi wamejitokeza siku ya leo waweze kushuhudia jina yake ikiwekwa kwa hii jina ya hii barabara.
Na leo ni siku ya furaha. Tumekuwa na huzuni wiki moja iliyopita, na leo tumeweka huzuni kidogo na tuko na furaha leo. Ndimefanya tukakuja tuweke hii nini ya barabara, hii barabara iitwe jina ya Raila Amolo Odinga. Ndi tuikwe tunakumbuka nao baba juu ametuacha, hatukuwa tunapenda ama tulikuwa tunafikiria atuache. Sasa tukaweka hii barabara iitwe kwa jina yake, juu alikuwa shujaa, yule amepigania hii nchi yetu Kenya kwa nguvu zake zote. Ndio tumkumbushe miaka mingi sana, tukasema hii barabara iitwe kwa jina yake. Ndio saa zote tukipita kwa hii barabara, tukiingia kwa hii estate ya Kamatuto, kila mtu anajua hii barabara ni ya Raila Amolo Odinga.
Raila Amolo Odinga. Na ndio tumetoka nje kama wakaji wote, kwa sababu upande huu wa Njiru kulikuwa na mambo imetendeka makubwa. Raila Amolo Odinga hata wakati aliungana na rais wa zamani Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, yeye ndiye alishikana na viongozi wengine, tukawa na Obama Estate. Obama Estate ilisettle all the squatters, wale ambao hawakukuwa na mali ya kuishi paka kule Dandora, watu wakakuwa settle hapa. Na mnajua vile vile hata wakati wa Jared Ochok, Raila alipigania masquatters, na wakati sisi tulikuwa tunauliwa ama tunakuwa threatened na ile regime ambayo ilikuweko, Raila angetoka nje kutetea sisi. Na ndio imepata ya kwamba siku ya leo hii area yote imekuwa estate, na through that confidence Raila alitufanya ya kwamba tusiogope.
All right, moving on, the government has announced plans to destroy a massive consignment of narcotic drugs worth 8 billion Kenya shillings that was intercepted on the Indian Ocean coastline on Sunday. And according to the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, 6 Iranian nationals have been arrested in connection with the drug haul. Now, the investigations revealed that the vessel used to transport the shipment originated from Iran, with the suspects reportedly provided with a navigational map to facilitate the illegal transit. Murkomen affirmed the government's commitment to intensifying the war against drug trafficking, saying the crackdown on international cartels will continue without compromise. He also warned that those found aiding or abetting the trade will face the full force of the law.
Na unaona hao wanapelekwa kotini, na hivi karibuni utaona tukidestroy those madawa ya kulevya publicly, because we have resolved as a nation that we must fight drugs, we must fight illicit alcohol, we must fight all kind of vices that are destroying the lives of our people.
The vessel you see behind us has been under the radar of the international community, being suspected of carrying out illicit, particularly narcotics activities within the Western Indian Ocean.
All right, moving on, ODM Deputy Party Leader and Kisii Governor Simba Arati has extended an olive branch to President William Ruto, urging him to rejoin the Orange Democratic Movement, that is ODM, as he eyes a second stab at the presidency. Now speaking during a meeting and a meet and greet tour in Kisumu, Arati reminisced about the 2007 Pentagon coalition that united key political figures under ODM, saying the party remains the strongest vehicle to form the next government. He symbolically dangled the orange to President Ruto, calling on him to return to the movement that once shaped his political journey. Arati also rallied ODM grassroots supporters, remain loyal and optimistic, assuring them that the party will regain its strength and direction following the death of its long-time leader, that is Raila Amolo Odinga.
Nimesema kwamba sasa tumeanza celebration za maisha ya baba aliyoishi hapa duniani. Tumesema kwamba baba aende salama, na chama cha ODM kitasimama imara. Eti kuna watu watauza chama, hakuna. Mimi kama deputy party leader tumeambia William Ruto, Mheshimiwa William Ruto, tumemwambia yeye alikuwa katika chama cha ODM, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, hata Kalonzo walikuwa ODM. Tunawaambia kumpea heshima baba, wao wakuje kutoka pale, tujiunge pamoja katika ODM, tukiana katika 2027. Chama cha ODM lazima kishinde kura 2027 ndiposa baba atubariki tukiendelea mbele.
Now, the Kenya Kwanza leaders have come out strongly to defend the recent enacted social media regulation law signed by President William Ruto, saying critics are misleading the public about its intent. Speaking during a public rally in Isanjiro Malava constituency, National Assembly Speaker, that is Moses Wetangula, and Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah dismissed claims that the law seeks to silence government critics. Instead, they maintained that the legislation is aimed at promoting discipline, accountability, and responsible use of social media platforms. The leaders emphasized that freedom of expression must go hand in hand with responsibility, noting that the increasing spread of misinformation and online abuse has become a national concern. They urged Kenyans to support the law, saying it will help foster a more respectful and truthful digital space.
Itakuwa aibu kubwa kuona ya kwamba katika mitandao ya kijamii watoto wanaonyesha watu wakiwa uchi, watu wakifanya mambo machafu, watu wakivuta bangi, watu wakifanya mambo mabaya, na wale ambao wanazungumza maneno haieleweki.
Ni kukinga kanisa dhidi ya dini potovu ama cultic behavior and religious extremism. Lengo la pili na muhimu sana, padri, lilikuwa ni lengo la kulinda familia zetu kutokana na mambo potovu ya ngono na maonyesho ya ngono kwa mitandao.
Mnaposhika mkono William Ruto aende tamu ya pili kama jirani, tunaomba na nyinyi mtafute majirani akiwemo Ichung'wah, ili uongozi uje magharibi. Na uongozi haiwezi kuja magharibi, uongozi itatokea hapa Malava, ikuja hapa Western, ndio Wetangula na viongozi wa hapa wakalie kiti ya enzi.
Now, debate continues to intensify within the Orange Democratic Movement over whether the party should field a presidential candidate in the 2027 general elections or support President William Ruto's re-election bid. A Lagos Member of Parliament and National Assembly Budget Committee Chairperson Samuel Atandi has openly stated that ODM currently lacks the capacity to mount a serious presidential campaign. He urged party members to rally behind President William Ruto, urging that the late party leader Raila Odinga did not adequately prepare his supporters to contest for the presidency after his tenure. According to the internal party sources, there are growing indications that ODM could align itself with President William Ruto's administration ahead of the 2027 polls, marking a possible shift in Kenya's political alliances.
There is nobody in ODM who can run for president as at now, because Raila Odinga did not prepare anyone to run for president. If there's a leader there who thinks he can run for president, come out and also tell us whether you have capacity to defeat President William Ruto. ODM is not ready to run for presidential candidate in 2027. The party is not prepared to field a candidate. And that is why we are saying that William Ruto is a former member of ODM. We have gone back to our former members to help us rejuvenate ODM.
It is exactly 18 minutes past the top of the hour. At that note, we are due for a short breather here on EBN Weekend Edition, but we'll be back in just a bit. Moving on, Laikipia East Member of Parliament, that is Mwangi, speaking during a public rally in Lorraine, Laikipia West, Kinjuri dismissed opposition leaders and hypocrites who only engage in empty rhetoric without offering practical solutions to the country's challenges. Now, he accused them of rebranding themselves as champions of citizens' rights after losing their political relevance, saying their criticism lacks substance or vision. Now, the former cabinet secretary urged Kenyans to remain vigilant and to be swayed, or rather not to be swayed by what he termed as political theatrics from self-seeking leaders. He further emphasized the need for an inclusive government after the 2027 elections, noting that no single political party, whether in government or in opposition, can govern effectively on its own.
Ati Mungu usaidia hii serikali ya William Samoei Ruto ishindwe kujenga mabarabara. Ati Mungu ombea hii serikali ya William Ruto isiunganishe watu stima. Mungu ombea, tunakuomba hii serikali ya Ruto isiwekee watu maji. Ati ishindwe kufanya kazi ili wewe uchaguliwe. Kenya isimame miaka 5 ikikungojea wewe mwenyewe uje uongoze ndio ufanye hiyo kazi. Jameni, hatuwezi kuwa na viongozi that are that.
Now, the former Macharia East Member of Parliament, Rashid Kassim Amin, has officially resigned from the Wiper Democratic Movement and joined the ruling United Democratic Alliance, that is UDA, citing the party's growing popularity in the region. Speaking at the UDA headquarters in Nairobi, Amin said his decision was influenced by local constituents, particularly students, who encouraged him to align with the party led by President William Ruto. He praised the president's ongoing development agenda in northern Kenya, saying it has significantly improved livelihoods and infrastructure in the region. Amin added that his move to UDA was also informed by strategic political calculations ahead of the 2027 general elections, noting that the party continues to strengthen its grassroots support nationwide. Take a look.
Democratic Party to UDA. And I want to affirm there is going to be a serious meeting that we are going to be held in Wajir grounds at a convenient time in the near future, so that we can make a massive declaration, a very massive declaration of my commitment to serve in the government of Dr. Samoei Ruto.
Now, tensions remain high in Chemosit, Bureti sub-county, Kericho County, after angry residents took to the streets and barricaded the Kericho-Leiten highway to protest what they termed as negligence by the county government following the drowning of a 4-year-old boy. And according to residents, the tragic incident occurred 4 days ago when the minor reportedly slipped into the river Chemosit while washing his feet alongside a friend. Efforts by locals to retrieve the body have been ongoing, but they claim no official assistance has been offered by the county administration. The protesters accused Kericho Governor Dr. Eric Motai of ignoring the tragedy despite being a native of the same sub-county. They demanded urgent intervention from both county and national government authorities to support recovery efforts and address what they described as a pattern of neglect in the response to local disasters.
Mamaka amehangaika na sisi kama wananchi wa Kericho tunaomba ya kwamba Governor, MCA, MP atume rescue team tuhakikisha siku ya leo ikiisha tumepata huyo mtoto.
Tangu mtoto aingie maji tumepata shida sana. Juu tuko na kaunti lakini haisaidii. Hawajatuma hata divers, hizi ndio tunaingia maji.
Sasa mmefunga njia, imeadhirika. Sasa ndio nashangaa serikali hakuna kitu imefanya. Unaona masaa nzima tuko na security ya kutosha hapa, hakuna hata wenye wamefika hapa. Sasa tufanye aje? Sasa tumepiga hesabu tugeuke turudi Kisii. Kwa sababu hakuna usaidizi tumepata kufikia sasa.
Now, the government has reaffirmed its commitment to combating the smuggling and distribution of illegal substances across the country, including narcotic drugs. Public Health Principal Secretary, that is Mary Mavoni, has said, speaking in Kiambu County during a Jamii Imara Mashinani event. Mavoni said enhanced security inspections have been implemented at border points and airports to ensure Kenya remains free from illicit drugs. She emphasized that the government will not relent in its efforts to dismantle drug trafficking networks that continue to endanger public health and national security. The PS also appealed to religious leaders to work closely with the government in addressing the drug abuse among the young people, noting that faith-based organizations play a crucial role in promoting rehabilitation and moral guidance. Take a look.
At the airport, we are very keen, and we have held that strongly, that security system is very strong. Our port health officers are inspecting every bag that is entering in the country so that we do not have drugs coming into our country or drugs written for sale in Kenya alone. We want everybody to be safe, and we want every Kenyan.
All right, it is exactly 28 minutes past the top of the hour. You're now up to speed. Those making headlines from across 47 counties as far as news is concerned. Many thanks, of course, keeping me in company until this particular minute. We do appreciate your feedback here on EBN Television. My name is Martin Macharia signing off. Do yourself a lovely night. And as always, let's do this again when God says we do.